My dad used to be a clerk in Birmingham and an active member of Small Heath Swimming Club. His dad was a farmer and used to own a swan sculpture made out of number 6 fat packets. My dad joined the RAF during World War II and worked on radar stations in Norfolk. His dad was a policeman, which in his book made it okay to be a fucking bully, pin me down and spit in my face. My dad lost his leg in a motorbike collision travelling between Air Force radar sites. His dad was a boatman, had a gammy leg and used to say, "Whoop, whoop, whoop." My dad got a job with the Cavendish in Cambridge. He travelled down from Birmingham on a moped. His dad wasn't his real dad and didn't stand up to his mum, who wasn't his real mum either. My dad met my mother in a tea room. He may have offered to buy her a cake, or perhaps a scone. His dad was a Methodist preacher. He hated drinking and wouldn't have it in the house. My dad converted a standard 10 van into a family car. We used to cram into the back. His dad used to drive a green Vauxhall Viva. It was ever so modern. They also had an allotment. My dad's car was embarrassing and we hoped people from school didn't see us in it. His dad used to drive a Ford Capri, was manager of a Chinese restaurant and used to live in the Midlands. My dad also lived in the Midlands, but that's where the common ground ended. His dad had a filler product called Plastic Wood, and it was really good. My dad filled his metal leg with polystyrene chippings in case he fell in the river. His dad was a keen golfer and far less volatile than his mother. He used to work in Felixstowe. My dad took us to Felixstowe. We went into a cafe and were served by a fat northerner. His dad worked for the council, got promoted and took them out to the Burnley Inn to celebrate. My dad's mum's dad was a landlord of the Atlas pub in Small Heath in the era of the Peaky Blinders. His dad made him call him Sir and named a clinker boat after him. My mum's dad was on the census as a shit shoveler who also fathered 21 children. His dad owned a flower shop. Despite that, he was one of the hardest lads at school. My dad used to get phantom leg pains. He would take Valium and drink lots of whiskey. His dad took us to the cinema in his car. It was a big black Rover. It was posh. My dad hated wasps, jellyfish, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses and the Labour Party. His dad marched him back down the playground and made him punch the ringleader right in the face. My dad looked after both my mum and us well. He even gave her housekeeping. His dad was a Unigate milkman. He got him loads of "watch out, there's a Humphrey about" stuff. My dad never complained when my mum exploded the pressure cooker. His dad took his own life. He found him just after it happened. My dad started to fall apart and ended up in a Bupa home. His dad was an alcoholic and they moved to England to get away from him. My dad was losing his marbles. He kept asking for them. He mistook butterflies for ducks. His dad bred 3,000 large white butterflies. He released them at a Rolling Stones concert in Hyde Park. I took my dad to the same pub that finished off my best mate. He snapped off the car indicator. His dad would stand up and play the imaginary trumpet during songs of praise. My dad hated the model boat club using the paddling pool. He called them bloody great overgrown schoolboys. His dad was a market trainer and known to the coppers as a local hard man. My dad listened to Just a Minute and the Navy Lark. His dad fell out of the apple tree and buggered up his spine for good. My dad died 3 months before I became a dad.